Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Byakuya Kuchiki. This is of course in honor of the return of the Bleach anime in 2022, and so sort of as a tribute I'll just be doing a quick series about some of my favorite characters. And when I say some of my favorite characters, I mean all 13 of the captains and maybe a couple of others. I'm sort of unsure as to how far I'll go with this. So I'll just begin off with this. So Byakuya Kuchiki is the 20th head of the Kuchiki clan, one of the 4 great noble clans in the Soul Society. He is the captain of the 6th division in the Gotei 13th, and his current lieutenant being Renji Abarai. As the 20th head of the Kuchiki clan, Byakuya acts in a very aristocratic manner, if you understand what I mean, and that he's always unbelievably calm and apathetic towards others, even when he is internally conflicted, such as with the whole Rukia execution debacle fiasco. He remains really calm on the outside, sort of sheathing his conflict and hiding it within. So much so that his indifference borders on arrogance. In most situations, most opponents of Byakuya tend to view him as unbelievably arrogant while they're fighting him, because they see that he doesn't view them as worthy of his time. So Byakuya normally, as sort of expected, retains a very formal tone, always using watashi in sort of a formal way of referring to himself instead of, just a regular I. It would be like myself in English, I suppose, is the closest translation, pardon me. So Byakuya obviously believes really strongly in law and order, and as a captain of the Gotei 13th and one of the heads of the great noble families, he works really hard for a peaceful society, and he feels that anyone in his position who does not follow the rule of law, no one else will either, because they are to remain as sort of an example for everyone else in the Soul Society. So during the years between Rukia's adoption and her death sentence, Byakuya's pride and calm demeanor made her believe that he never really cared about her, but that was really true, because he really cared and protected those that he cared about. This holds especially true to Rukia, as he loved Hisana very dearly, Hisana obviously being Rukia's older sister. And while he admits that the rule of law isn't perfect and sort of becomes a little bit more lenient towards Rukia during the end of the Soul Society arc, you still see that there's a sense of balance in his life, because he still really believes in the rule of law, but now occasionally is willing to break and exploit loopholes if he must, to do what he believes to be correct, such as entering the Wakamundo, entering in the Wakamundo like fights to sort of go help Ichigo and Orihime and everyone else. So now, just to sort of start off with Byakuya's history a little bit. Byakuya was born into the Kuchiki clan and grew up in the Kuchiki mansion in the Serite, where he would spend an unbelievable amount of time training and sort of preparing to take over in the leadership of the Kuchiki family. He would often play with Yoruichi Shihoin, playing, games such as tag and stuff, which Yoruichi always won. And on one such occasion, roughly 110 years ago, she is presented to a training with Byakuya by his grandfather, Ginure Kuchiki. Upon seeing Yoruichi, he attacked and insulted her, Yoruichi sort of playfully teasing him. And as such, and about 55 years ago, Byakuya married Hisana Kuchiki, a commoner from the Rukongo district, breaking the rules and accepting her into a noble family clan. 5 years after the marriage, she became sick and was near death, and she asked Byakuya to find and adopt her little sister Rukia, whom she had abandoned as a baby, as her final dying wish. And she made this promise. She made him promise, that he would not tell Rukia that she is her sister. Byakuya, of course, ended up breaking that vow in the end to sort of calm Rukia at the end of the Soul Society arc. And about a year later, after Hisana died, Byakuya ended up finding Rukia at the Shino Academy, immediately adopting her into the family, and once again breaking the rules of the clan, but promising upon his parents' grave that he would never ever break the rules again, no matter the circumstances. And about 50 years after that, Rukia joined the Gotei 13th, and Byakuya became the captain of the 6th Division. Gin Ichimaru, just sort of as an off fact, became the captain of the 3rd Division at roughly the same time. So during the Agent of the Shinigami arc, which was sort of when Renji and Byakuya came to the human realm to sort of get Rukia back and sort of put her on trial, Renji fought Ichigo, losing to him after he released the power of Zangetsu to whatever degree he was capable of at the time. And then Ichigo was very quickly, very swiftly defeated by Byakuya. Byakuya barely even having to take his sword out. It was sort of just done immediately. Later on in the Soul Society, Byakuya informs Rukia that she is to be executed for her crimes and sort of prepares her for what is to come. During the Soul Society arc, he is, present during the whole fiasco, during the whole invasion of the humans. What was that referred to as again? I can't even remember off the top of my head. Jeez. And upon, sort of during the whole fiasco, he was not really involved until really, really later when on the bridge, Ichigo met up with Rukia where Byakuya was also present, and they almost fought, but Yoruichi came in to sort of stop Byakuya and run away with Ichigo because he was really injured, and she knew that if they were to fight at that moment, Byakuya would win sort of really easily, because at his peak at that time, they were to be about equal after Ichigo got his Bankai and was sort of in peak condition. If he was to fight him without having his Bankai and on the border of death, he would be dead so swiftly. So on the morning of Rukia's execution, Byakuya is in his quarters praying at a shrine to his wife. When he is told that the execution is about to commence, he says goodbye to Hisana's pictures and departs for the execution grounds. And while he is at the Sokyoku Hill, he is, of course, surprised, like all the captains are, with Ichigo and his Bankai, or, well, I guess his Bankai wasn't revealed at the time, but, him stopping the, what was the name of the execution bird thing? I have no idea. I can't remember. So Ichigo obviously stops the execution and saves Rukia, throwing her to Renji and telling him to run away. After that, he is to go fight Byakuya, and during which Ichigo obviously reveals his Bankai and wins. So during that, and so after that, during the Arrancar arc, Byakuya travels to the human realm to retrieve Hitsugaya's team on, Yamamoto's orders, and he allows Rukia and Renji to return to the human realm to assist Orihime. And during the Wako Mundo arc, he obviously enters Wako Mundo to fight Zomari, absolutely destroying him in the process. No try at all. Easy. And during the fake Karakura town arc, Byakuya sort of fights with the Espada as much as basically all the captains do, but they all end up taking basically one of them out, and then it's like Ichigo has to basically do the rest. And during the Lost Substitute Shinigami arc, Byakuya is, of course, one of the individuals, along with Kenpachi, Hitsugaya, Renji, and Ikaku. Ikaku, who comes back to help Ichigo sort of in his fight, and Byakuya defeats Tsukishima. And I'm not going to be including what happens in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, because that is, of course, to happen in the anime, and I don't want to ruin that for anyone. This is sort of just to catch up everyone as to what has been happening so far, and just make you remember the characters, so that when the Thousand Year Blood War arc actually begins. You're not completely lost, and you don't feel as though you've forgotten so much stuff. So we have just about hit the 10-minute mark, and I think that's sort of my cue to sort of bid you farewell. And so you all have yourself a great day, and well, now that Christmas is past, but I'll say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's to all of you, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.